As a pastor or a leader in your church, have you ever thought, how can I help motivate God's people to reach out to their community? You've tried the street preaching, the group singing, the invitations, the concerts, the pestering people to get motivated, the shared meals and more. Not that any of these are bad, they're all good. There's a saying that goes, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Jesus said, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." You are the light of the world. You are a city set on a hill. You are the salt of the earth. But how does your church show the community around them just how much they really do care? Well, imagine if you had a system that identified problems in your community and helped you motivate people to work with you to create solutions. WWJD. What would Jesus do? He saw a problem and had compassion, looked at what he had and created a solution. If we can see the problem and have compassion that motivates us to find a solution, then it opens up hearts to hear what we have to say. Imagine if your congregation could be motivated to be that city on the hill. I was frustrated with God and I could feel that He knew it. 2 years earlier I'd given up, stuck my head in the sand, so I couldn't hear Him anymore. I didn't want to do it. I couldn't understand how it was going to help the kingdom in any way. Right now I just wanted some answers. I'd put so much money and so much time into this project over the years, believing that God had led me into it. We had written the software, created test environments, started mini sites to see what would work, involved community organisations, run community meetings, rewritten the software, tested again in different places, different people, created wireless systems, created trusts, created mini newspapers, worked on the problems, created solutions, rewritten the software. After 7 years of this, I gave up. I'd had enough. Was God really calling me to do this? Why was it taking so long? All the time, God was working in my heart, getting me ready. God knew the perfect time. Like everyone, I just wanted it now. Know the feeling? Meanwhile, Matt just kept going. He had joined me 3 years into the project, about the time all the others started walking away. He was my Superman. He believed in it. He believed in me. After a few years, he persuaded me to carry on. Anyway, it was getting late. I fell asleep with these questions on my mind. God, why am I doing this? What is the point? Then I woke up with this revelation. Fobbly can connect the local churches to their communities and feed funds into the church at the same time. So how can Fobbly connect your church to your community? Firstly, your church becomes the initiator of the system in your community. You and your church will get to find out who really lives in your community. Then the church has the opportunity to see problems, and using Fobbly, they can create solutions and involve the people in the community to implement those solutions. The church becomes the head and not the tail. As the church works with the people on those solutions, they get to work side by side with the community and therefore get opportunities to shine their light and share the gospel. But all the time this is happening, the system is growing and connecting communities together with common information. People start entering information on the system and the advertising starts to run. Yes, there is advertising, and for a number of reasons it benefits the church. First of all, because all information is based on category and location, advertising on Fobbly is an advantage to the user and the advertiser. A win-win, but more on that in another video. Secondly, Fobbly pays out 15% of all revenue to the people that enter any information into the system. Then Fobbly pays out 15% of all revenue to the people who host the system on their website. Fobbly also pays out 15% of all revenue to the people that find or introduce any advertisers. Fifthly, And this is where the church gets the double blessing. Fobbly pays out 20% on a 4-level affiliate program. As the church starts the ball rolling in the area, the affiliate program eventually starts paying the church a percentage of all the money earned by all those that they have introduced to the system. And as they have signed up under the town site, a portion also goes to the Community Foundation Fund for that town, of which the churches are on the Board of Trustees. Which takes us to number 6. The system is building funding for the future community as well. This way Fobbly keeps the money inside the community, unlike all the other systems that drain money out of the community. And 7th, the church gets to use the system just like everybody else, but with free advertising, as well as adding their events, creating polls, creating their own listings, creating community projects, and more to come. Churches need 3 things: money, motivated people, and exposure. Fobbly creates all 3 in one system. So what do you have to do as a church? Number 1, sign up on the system. Number 2, order your Fobbly cards. They're just business cards to give away, and we supply them. Then we create your 4-town web page. This is a web page for your church to send people to, so we can keep track of the people and organisations your church introduces to the system. The people in your church can now either give out these church cards or sign up under the church and give out their own cards. Either way, the church benefits. They can give them to businesses, community organisations, not-for-profits, government departments, or even just people in the community. As people and organisations start to sign up, the system starts to be used. Fobbly starts to help the local community, and the church starts to get connected and get blessed at the same time. And this is just the start. If you think this is of interest to your church, pray about contacting us and being a part of the solution to your community.